You will never master your destiny until you master your emotions. The greatest test of maturity is not how you act when everything is calm, but how you respond when life shakes your peace. Some of you are letting situations control you. You are letting people who don't even know who they are define who you are. But listen carefully, peace is not the absence of storms, it's the presence of stability in the middle of them. If you want to stay calm and unbothered, you must first understand that peace is not something you find. It's something you become. Today, I want to give you 4 key principles to help you live in that calmness that cannot be disturbed and that confidence that cannot be broken. You must understand something powerful. Most of your frustration doesn't come from what's happening to you. It comes from trying to control what you were never meant to control. Life will always have things that are beyond your reach, beyond your power, beyond your planning. But peace comes when you finally realize that your energy is precious and you must spend it only on what truly belongs to you. When you stop fighting everything around you, you'll finally start winning within yourself. Too many people live like firefighters, constantly putting out emotional fires that they didn't even start. Someone says something rude, and you're burning up inside. Someone disappoints you, and you lose your joy for the whole day. You can't keep letting people control your temperature like that. You have to become your own thermostat, not a thermometer that reacts to every climate. Because when your peace depends on what people do, you'll always be unstable. But when your peace depends on what you choose, nothing can move you. Think about it. How many times have you lost sleep replaying a conversation you can't change? How many hours have you wasted trying to make someone understand your worth when they've already decided not to see it? You keep fighting to change people who were never your responsibility. You keep chasing explanations from people who don't even understand themselves. You cannot control their behavior, their loyalty, or their love. You can only control your boundaries, your reaction, and your focus. A calm person isn't someone who never faces storms. It's someone who has learned what's worth fighting for and what's worth letting go. Every day, you need to ask yourself one question: is this worth my peace? Because peace is not cheap. It's the most expensive thing you own. Some of you are giving it away to people who don't deserve it. You argue with people online who don't even know your name. You lose your joy because someone didn't text back. You carry stress because you want everyone to like you. My friend, not everyone is supposed to like you. You are not ice cream, you are purpose. Purpose doesn't please everyone. It offends the lazy, the jealous, and the small-minded. When you learn to control what you can, you'll feel lighter, because you'll finally realize that peace is not the reward, it's the decision. You don't wait for things to calm down to be calm. You become calm so things can settle around you. Life will always test this lesson. You'll have people who talk behind your back, deals that fall through, plans that delay, relationships that end. And you'll be tempted to react, to fix, to chase, to prove. But that's when you must remind yourself, this is not my fight. I'm not going to lose my dignity just to win an argument. I'm not going to waste my potential proving to someone that I matter. Real power is silent. It doesn't need to shout. The most confident people are not the loudest. They are the ones who smile in the middle of misunderstanding, because they know the truth will reveal itself in time. Control what you can, your words, your effort, your discipline, your focus. Release what you can't, people's opinions, their approval, their apology. You'll never walk in peace if you're always waiting for people to change before you rest. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you're driving a car in heavy traffic. You can't control the other drivers. Some will cut you off. Some will drive too slow. Some will honk for no reason. You could waste all your energy shouting, swearing, or trying to compete. But what does that give you? Nothing but stress. The wise driver focuses on their own lane, their own steering, their own destination. They don't lose their cool because someone else is impatient. That's how peace works. Your lane is your life. Keep your hands on your wheel, your eyes on your road, and let everyone else drive however they want. In relationships too, the same principle applies. You can't make someone stay who wants to leave. You can't make someone appreciate you who's committed to misunderstanding you. The moment you stop forcing connections, you start attracting real ones. Don't chase after people. Attract them with your calmness, your growth, your peace. Some doors must close for you to find the right ones that open. You also can't control time. You can't rush seasons. Stop comparing your timeline to others. Just because someone else is succeeding doesn't mean you're failing. Some trees bloom in spring, others in summer. But both are still growing underground when nobody sees them. You might be in a hidden season, but hidden doesn't mean forgotten. Learn to rest in that. And most importantly, don't let external noise silence your internal clarity. People will always have something to say. They'll misjudge your silence as weakness, your peace as pride, your distance as arrogance. But they don't know what you had to overcome to reach this level of calm. They don't know the battles you had to stop fighting to protect your sanity. You owe no one an explanation for choosing peace over chaos. So, when life throws confusion your way, breathe, step back, remind yourself, I am only responsible for my response. You cannot stop storms, but you can choose not to drown in them. When things fall apart, ask yourself, what part of this is mine to fix? If it's not yours, let it go. Because peace doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you've decided that perfection is not required for you to be at rest. You can't control how long the storm lasts, but you can control how you carry yourself through it. You can't control who walks out, but you can control how you walk forward. You can't control what's being said about you, but you can control what you say to yourself. Control the controllable. Release the rest. That's how you stay calm, strong, and unbothered in a world that thrives on chaos. Protecting your inner space is one of the greatest disciplines you will ever learn in life. It is not just about setting boundaries with people. It's about learning how to guard the most sacred place in the universe, your mind and your heart. Because everything you see, everything you do, everything you say flows out of that space. If your inner world is filled with chaos, no matter how beautiful your outer world looks, you will still feel lost. Peace is an inside job, and the battle for peace is fought in silence. Inside your thoughts, inside your emotions, inside that private place where no one else can see. Have you ever noticed how easily people allow the world to enter their minds? One negative comment and their whole day collapses. One disagreement and suddenly their confidence is gone. One betrayal and their entire outlook on life becomes bitter. Why? Because they never learned how to protect their inner space. They let anyone with a loud voice walk into their heart, leave their mess there, and walk away. You can't let that happen anymore. You can't allow temporary people to leave permanent damage in your soul. You have to learn to close the door to your peace. There will always be people who thrive on drama. Their peace depends on chaos. They walk into a room and bring tension, gossip, and negativity. If you are not careful, you will start breathing in their atmosphere and calling it your own. You will start reacting to their mood, their energy, their words. That's why protecting your inner space means being selective with your conversations. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. It says, I value my peace more than your opinion. Think of your mind as a garden. Whatever you allow in will grow. If you let weeds of fear, doubt, anger, and jealousy settle in, they will choke your joy. But if you plant seeds of gratitude, confidence, and calmness, you will live in abundance of peace. The problem is we spend so much time cleaning our houses, our cars, our clothes, but we don't clean our minds. We don't filter what we listen to, what we watch, or who we let speak into our lives. Every voice carries a vibration. Some voices calm you, others drain you. And if you let the wrong ones stay long enough, you start to sound like them. Protecting your inner space means deciding who gets to speak into your soul. You've got to stop letting people who are at war within themselves drag you into their battle. You can't fix someone who enjoys their chaos. You can't heal someone who finds comfort in complaining. You can love them, but you must learn to love them from a distance. Sometimes distance is not rejection, it's protection. You're not pushing them away, you're protecting your peace. And peace is not selfish, it's survival. Every day, life will test your boundaries. Someone will push your buttons, test your patience, or try to steal your joy. You have to know how to respond without losing your composure. The calmest people are not those who live without problems. They are those who refuse to allow problems to live inside them. They've learned that you can't stop the rain, but you can carry an umbrella. You can't stop people from talking, but you can stop listening. You can't stop situations from coming, but you can choose how to handle them. Protecting your inner space means mastering the art of emotional control. Sometimes protecting your peace means saying no without guilt. It means canceling plans that drain you. It means walking away from arguments that don't align with your growth. It means staying quiet when people expect you to fight. You don't owe everyone access to your emotions. You don't owe everyone your story. You don't even owe everyone an explanation. When you know who you are, silence becomes your superpower. Because people who understand peace don't perform for attention. They rest in their worth. You must also learn how to protect your inner space from your own thoughts. Sometimes the enemy is not outside. It's the voice inside your head telling you you're not enough. Not smart enough, not capable enough. You have to confront that voice and speak truth to it. Remind yourself of who you are, what you've survived, and what you carry within you. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after it. Don't allow pain to rewrite your identity. Don't let fear dictate your potential. Every time a negative thought comes, replace it with a powerful one. Speak peace to yourself until peace becomes your language. You must also create environments that feed your calm. Spend time in silence. Read things that uplift your spirit. Listen to voices that strengthen your faith. Go where your soul feels rested, not where it feels drained. Protecting your inner space is not about isolation. It's about alignment. You are aligning yourself with peace, with purpose, with clarity. That means sometimes you'll lose people who don't understand your new level of calm. That's okay. Because when your peace increases, your circle decreases, but your strength multiplies. Remember, the world around you mirrors the world within you. If you're calm inside, you'll bring calm everywhere you go. But if you're anxious inside, you'll spread anxiety even when you mean well. That's why protecting your inner space is not optional. It's essential. It's the foundation for strength, focus, and emotional stability. People will try to pull you into their storms, but you must stand firm in your stillness. You don't have to match their energy, you can maintain yours. So, in every situation, ask yourself, does this conversation feed my peace or my pain? Does this environment push me forward or drain my strength? Does this person add clarity or confusion to my life? The answers will tell you what deserves access to your inner space. Because not everyone deserves a seat at the table of your mind. Some people only come to spill. And when you start protecting that sacred space, you'll notice a shift. Your sleep will improve. Your mood will stabilize. Your creativity will flourish. Because peace unlocks potential. You'll begin to hear your own thoughts clearly again. You'll begin to recognize your purpose more deeply. You'll begin to move through life with quiet confidence. Not because everything is easy, but because you've learned that nothing is worth losing your peace over. There comes a point in your growth when you must realize that not every situation deserves your reaction. Life will always test you. People will test your patience. Circumstances will test your composure, and disappointments will test your strength. But your maturity is revealed not in how loud you shout, but in how calmly you stand. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is impulsive, response is intentional. Reaction comes from emotion. Response comes from wisdom. Reaction drains your power. Response preserves it. The one who reacts quickly loses control, but the one who responds thoughtfully becomes unstoppable. Think about it. How many times have you said or done something in anger that you later regretted? You were caught in the heat of the moment, driven by emotions that faded an hour later, but the consequences remained. You can rebuild a house, but you can't rebuild words once they're spoken. A reaction is like a spark in a dry forest. One wrong word, and suddenly there's a fire that burns relationships, opportunities, and peace. You can't take it back, and it spreads faster than you expect. But when you pause to breathe before responding, you stop the fire before it starts. That pause is where wisdom lives. That moment of silence between what happened and what you choose to do next, that's where strength is born. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you're driving and someone cuts you off on the road. Your first reaction might be to honk, shout, or chase them down to prove a point. But what does that give you? Nothing but frustration. The other driver keeps going, but you're left with tension, anger, and distraction. Now imagine if you just smiled, took a deep breath, and kept driving. You've just proven that your peace is more valuable than your pride. You've chosen response over reaction. You've kept your energy intact. That's emotional intelligence in action. In relationships, this principle is even more powerful. Sometimes people say hurtful things not because of you, but because of what's happening inside them. They're carrying pain, insecurity, or fear, and they project it onto you. If you react, you become part of their chaos. But if you respond with calmness, you expose their instability without saying a word. You're not ignoring them, you're choosing mastery over madness. You're teaching them through your peace that not every attack deserves a counterattack. Sometimes silence is the loudest statement you can make. When you learn to respond instead of react, you stop being controlled by external events. You reclaim your authority over your emotions. Life doesn't stop being difficult, but you stop being easily disturbed. People can try to provoke you, but you no longer hand them the remote control to your mood. You decide what kind of energy you release into the world. That's real power, the power to stay calm in chaos, to think when others panic, to speak life when others speak anger. Think of a lion. When flies buzz around it, it doesn't roar or chase them. It simply flicks its tail and keeps walking, because a lion knows who it is. It doesn't waste energy proving its strength to insects. But people who are unsure of their worth react to everything. They argue over nonsense, defend themselves against every opinion, and exhaust their peace over situations that don't matter. The moment you stop reacting to small things, you prove that you've grown beyond them. The noise can't touch you because your peace has become your shield. Sometimes people push you just to see if you'll lose yourself. They want to trigger you because your reaction feeds their control. The minute you snap, they win. But when you stay calm, when you keep your composure and respond with grace, you disarm their power. Your calm confuses them. It makes them question themselves. Because when you don't react, you make it clear that you've evolved. You're no longer operating from emotion, you're operating from vision. In the workplace, this is gold. You might have coworkers who gossip, leaders who misunderstand you, or moments when you're criticized unfairly. You could react, argue, defend, or fight, but a calm, strategic response always carries more weight. The one who stays composed commands respect. People notice when you handle pressure with poise. They might not say it, but they trust you more. Your calm becomes your credibility. Even in family life, the art of responding can change everything. When arguments arise, when emotions run high, it's easy to let anger take over. But sometimes, the best way to win an argument is not to fight it at all. It's to listen, breathe, and choose words that heal rather than harm. You can't control how others speak to you, but you can control whether you let their tone lower yours. The louder someone becomes, the calmer you should be, because the one who keeps control of their spirit controls the atmosphere. Reacting is the reflex of the immature, Responding is the practice of the wise. And wisdom takes time to grow. You have to train yourself daily to pause before speaking, to think before replying, to breathe before acting. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. And one day you'll find yourself in a situation that would have once made you explode. But instead, you'll smile, stay calm, and walk away with your dignity intact. That's growth, that's mastery. Your peace is your power. Your calmness is your weapon. Every time you choose to respond instead of react, you win. Not against others, but against the version of yourself that used to lose control. That version that used to panic, argue, overthink, and regret. Every time you stay composed, that version gets weaker, and your true strength gets louder. Because the real battle has never been with people, it's been with your own emotions. You'll notice something remarkable when you live like this. The same things that used to shake you will no longer move you. The same people who used to frustrate you will no longer disturb your peace. The same problems that once made you cry will now make you think strategically, because you've learned that peace is not found in avoiding storms, but in learning how to remain calm while they pass. You're no longer moved by impulse. You're moved by purpose. And that right there is how you begin to rise above the noise and walk with quiet power in a loud world. When your mind is anchored in purpose, you stop being tossed around by the waves of emotions, opinions, and circumstances. Life is unpredictable. One day everything seems clear, and the next chaos knocks at your door. But when you are grounded in something bigger than your feelings, you cannot be easily shaken. Purpose gives direction to your emotions. It gives meaning to your pain and stability to your thoughts. People without purpose react to everything. They panic, they complain, they get lost in comparison. But people with purpose respond with focus. They understand that storms come, but storms can't move what's deeply rooted. You see, when you know why you're here, you stop wasting energy on things that don't move you toward your destiny. Purpose acts like a compass. It keeps you centered when distractions pull you in 100 directions. That's why some people seem calm in the middle of the worst chaos. It's not that life is easy for them, it's that they know where they're going. When you're anchored in purpose, people's opinions lose their power over you. You stop seeking validation from those who never understood your assignment. You stop explaining your silence, your progress, your vision, because you finally understand that purpose doesn't need permission. Think about a ship in the middle of a storm. The waves crash, the winds scream, the lightning strikes. But as long as that ship's anchor holds, it will not drift away. The same is true for you. Life's storms will come, but your purpose is your anchor. Without it, you'll drift into confusion, frustration, and exhaustion. You'll start living based on emotions instead of intention. You'll let the temporary dictate your permanent. But when your mind is fixed on why you were created, no storm can sink you. You'll bend, but you won't break. You'll cry, but you won't quit. You'll stumble, but you'll still move forward because your why is greater than your what happened. The reason small things disturb so many people is because they've lost sight of the big picture. You get frustrated because your boss disrespected you, someone didn't support you, or your plans were delayed. But purpose teaches you perspective. It whispers, this is temporary, keep moving. It reminds you that the obstacle is not the end, it's the classroom. Every difficulty is training you for where you're headed. When your mind is anchored in purpose, you interpret problems differently. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what's this preparing me for? That mindset alone separates the reactive from the resilient. You must understand that purpose protects you from distraction. Some people get angry at you for not entertaining gossip or drama. They think you've changed. No, you've just become focused. You no longer have the time to argue with people who aren't moving anywhere. You no longer get emotionally invested in every opinion or misunderstanding. When your eyes are fixed on where you're going, you stop tripping over what's behind you. Purpose is not about being busy, It's about being directed. It's about knowing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. There will be moments when life will tempt you to drift, when fear whispers louder than faith, when failure looks final, when you feel forgotten. But you must keep your mind anchored. Remind yourself, I'm not here by accident. There's something inside me that's bigger than my pain. Even when the world misunderstands you, even when people doubt you, even when you can't see progress, purpose keeps you steady. Because when you live with vision, you stop being easily offended. You realize that not everyone will understand your process, and that's okay. Not everyone can see your destination because they weren't designed to walk your path. In daily life, purpose changes how you see everything. When you go to work, you stop just doing your job and start fulfilling a calling. When you face rejection, you see it not as punishment, but as redirection. When someone walks out of your life, you don't chase them. You thank God for the space they left for something better. That's what it means to live anchored. You interpret everything through the lens of growth. Nothing is wasted, nothing is random, everything is training. Even the pain that once broke you becomes the foundation that builds you. Look at successful people, the calmest ones, the most confident ones. They're not calm because they have no problems. They're calm because they're anchored in purpose. They've mastered the art of focus. They know what matters and what doesn't. You'll never see a marathon runner stop mid, race to argue with the crowd. They have one goal, to finish the race. You have to develop that same mindset. Stop arguing with distractions. Stop pausing your progress to explain yourself. Keep running your race. Your purpose is your finish line. There's a kind of peace that only purpose can give you. When you wake up every day knowing why you're alive, it silences your anxiety. You no longer wake up chasing approval, you wake up chasing impact. You no longer compete with others, you collaborate, because purpose frees you from comparison. You start to understand that your lane is yours alone. You may not be where others are, but that doesn't mean you're behind. Everyone blooms in their own season. The oak tree doesn't envy the rose. It just grows into what it was meant to be. Purpose also gives you emotional discipline. You stop reacting to every mood, every delay, every disappointment. You understand that emotions are like weather, they change. But purpose is like the sky. It remains. You may feel discouraged, but you don't stay there, because you know there's something you're called to do that's bigger than how you feel today. That's why people of purpose don't give up easily. They may fall, but they always rise again, because quitting is not an option when your mission is greater than your pain. And here's something powerful when you anchor your mind in purpose. Peace becomes natural. You don't have to force calm. It flows from understanding. You stop letting problems surprise you. You start preparing for them. You stop letting fear control you. You start using it as fuel. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You create progress from imperfection. Purpose makes you proactive instead of reactive. You start to live life on your terms, guided by vision, not by emotion. You'll meet people who try to distract you from your purpose, some intentionally, others unconsciously. Some will criticize your focus because it exposes their lack of direction. But stay anchored. The wind will blow, the waves will rise, but if your anchor is firm, you'll still stand. You'll learn that peace is not found in comfort, it's found in clarity. And once your mind is fixed on your mission, everything else becomes noise. There comes a moment in every person's life when you must decide who will control your peace, the world or you. Because peace isn't given, it's claimed. It's not something you wait for, it's something you become. You reach a point where you stop chasing validation, stop arguing with noise, and stop trying to fix what's not in your power. That's when your transformation begins. The greatest victory you'll ever win is the one inside yourself. The victory of calmness in chaos, the victory of silence in storms, the victory of peace when everything around you demands panic. You have to understand this: the calmest person in the room is the strongest. The one who doesn't react to everything, who doesn't get shaken by criticism or distracted by noise, that person is dangerous. Because calmness is not weakness, it's control. It's a form of spiritual and emotional strength that says, I refuse to let the world dictate how I feel. The one who can stay still when others are breaking apart has already mastered the art of power. You can't destroy a person who knows how to be still, who knows how to breathe when everyone else is gasping, who knows that their destiny is not determined by what's happening around them, but by what's happening within them. Every storm you've survived, every heartbreak you've endured, every disappointment that shook your confidence, they were all training you for this. They were teaching you how to remain calm when the next wave comes. You've been through too much to be moved by small things. You've cried too many tears to let petty words steal your peace now. You've fought too many invisible battles to let visible noise distract your soul. The pain that once broke you was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to build the calmness you walk with today. Every scar on your heart is proof that chaos couldn't break you. You're still standing not because life was kind, but because you learned how to be calm in the fire. You must remind yourself daily, I am not what happens to me, I am how I respond. I am not the noise, I am the silence that cuts through it. I am not the storm, I am the anchor that holds steady. The power you're searching for is not out there, it's already inside you. You just have to stop reacting long enough to hear it speak. You have to stop letting fear run your decisions and start letting faith guide your direction. Because when your mind is calm, your vision becomes clear, and when your vision is clear, your future opens up like the sunrise after a long night. It doesn't matter who left you, who betrayed you, who doubted you, or who misunderstood you. None of that can stop what's already written for you. The one who can stay calm in confusion will always outlast the one who panics in pressure. While others are losing their focus, you'll be building your foundation. While they're reacting to problems, you'll be responding with purpose. The race is not to the fastest, it's to the most focused. The future doesn't belong to the emotional, it belongs to the stable. You have to live your life like water, still, clear, adaptable, but powerful enough to carve through mountains. Don't let the small things disturb your ocean. Don't let temporary waves convince you that your peace is gone. You are deeper than your emotions. You are stronger than your fears. You are bigger than your circumstances. Let your calmness speak louder than your frustration. Let your silence teach people that your peace is non-negotiable. The one who owns their peace owns their power. So when the noise rises, don't rise with it. When life shakes you, don't crumble, center yourself. When people test your patience, don't lose your composure. Show them your strength through stillness. Remember, lions don't roar at flies. Eagles don't flap around with pigeons. Oceans don't argue with rain. Know who you are, and you'll never have to prove it. Because when you understand your value, nothing external can disturb your internal balance. There will always be chaos, but peace will always be a choice. Choose calm, choose grace, choose silence over reaction, focus over frustration, purpose over panic. And as you do, you'll notice that life begins to move differently around you. Opportunities open, clarity increases, and people who once tried to provoke, you will start to respect your calm. Because nothing is more powerful than a person who has mastered themselves. You will walk into rooms and shift atmospheres, not because you're loud, but because you're grounded. You'll inspire others not with your noise, but with your composure. You'll lead not by shouting, but by standing still and letting your peace do the talking. The calmest person in the storm becomes the light for those who are lost in it. That's who you are becoming. You are not the noise, you are the calm after it. You are not the chaos, you are the order that follows. You are not the victim, you are the vessel of strength, focus, and peace. And from this moment on, you are no longer easily moved. You are centered, you are grounded, you are unbothered. Because when you master peace, you master power. And when you master power, nothing in this world can ever master you again.